Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are going to be watching Season 2, Episode 1 of Westworld. I am super excited. I really fell in love with this show during Season 1 and so many of these characters. So yeah, I'm just excited to see where this story goes from here. So, without too much more rambling, let's just get into it.
Enjoy this last piece very much.
It's been some time, Bernard. You don't know who you are, do you? There is beauty in what we are.
Wait, what's all this?
Is this now?
I am confused.
Get your hands where I can see him! Whoa. Bernard,
That's Stubbs.
you gonna shoot the boss? Bet you're pretty fucking out of sorts right now.
Where the hell did you come from? Explanation, please.
Keep walking.
Who are you? I thought this uprising would be a good thing.
Halstrand, head of operations.
What operations?
You're executing them? Some say you destroy your enemy by making them your friend. I'm more of a literal person.
Some of them aren't hostile.
Of course they are. After all, you built them to be like us, didn't you? Given
Yeah.
the nature of your work, I'd understand you'd be a little conflicted about what we have to do here.
Tell me this is some sick trick. Some twist in his game.
They're off their old loops. They seem to be on some new narrative.
The music is such a contrast to like the horrificness of that scene.
I've evolved into something new. And I have one last role to play.
What? Villain?
Myself.
I like it, but I don't like killing people.
We're begging. Can't you see? We're sorry.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
Fuck. The Man in Black. Not surprised that he didn't get killed. If anybody knows how to survive this place out of all those corporate people, it would be him.
Jesus, Bill. What the fuck is happening here? Where's QA?
Oh.
Guess I've always played fast and loose with this place. Let me tell you something. By the time my lawyers get
Sizemore?
freeze all motor functions!
Fall into flesh.
I think you've fed enough now, darling, don't you?
Oh my god! Why, what the fuck do you think's happened to them? It's like the inmates are running the asylum. Maeve? Fuck. Freeze all motor functions.
Don't work yourself up, darling.
Hey! Wait! Hey, you can't leave me here. Help me.
I'm afraid it's in my code to prize my needs above all others. Pity. The one who made me that way.
Please, I just need to get to the control room. I can help you. I know where a current map is. I can take you to.
I suppose you could be useful. Come on.
Sizemore could redeem himself, or at least begin to.
She's still there.
Who?
My daughter.
Exactly.
How can I get to her?
You're looking for your old kid. Well, how can you even access?
Are you going to help me or not?
I am. Absolutely am. I could write down directions for you.
No, you're going with her, bro.
Your daughter, she's not real.
But what about me? My dreams, my thoughts. And what if I took these unreal fingers and used them to decorate the walls with your outsized personality? Would that be real? You're going to take me to my daughter.
Don't move! Identify yourself! Yeah, don't shoot!
thank God you're here. We were leaving and the lights went out and I heard screaming. What the hell's going on out there?
Emergency situation, man. The hosts are malfunctioning.
We're attacking guests.
Might some of them even be dressed as if they're human?
Sizemore, for 5 seconds, I had faith in you, you fucking fuck. It's your fucking fault, Sizemore, you fucking fuck.
You were going to out me.
You literally did.
Try something like that again. I will relieve you of your most precious organ and feed it to you. Though it won't make much of a meal.
I wrote that line for you.
A bit broad if you ask me.
You're staying.
Yes.
And about leaving you to die.
I expect nothing less.
Y'all, I love it so much.
Hector, I need you. I'm going to find my daughter.
Where is she?
Out there somewhere.
Out there. Somewhere.
Ah, y'all. I should write this shit. No, I shouldn't.
But I
I'm kidding.
don't think the odds are going to be in our favor.
Y'all can do it.
Where you go, I follow.
You need to touch the handle. DNA sniffer, just so you don't run into any problems inside.
So, Delos has this whole secret place that they didn't tell Ford and them about. There's something behind you. Oh.
What the hell is that?
A drone host.
They're not sending help.
They were expecting a delivery from us to the mainland. A host. Until they get it, we can all forget about seeing any rescue planes.
Delos is willing to let us all die until they can retrieve one host.
In a word? Yes.
No matter the cost. Oh yeah, if all my fucking employees die, who cares as long as I have this thing that can make me money later.
You're in my game. This game, you have to make it back out. This game. Let's find the door. Congratulations, William. This game, isn't it?
Strip.
Right now, in front of
Yes.
How many of them have you seen naked? Like, you gonna get modest now? It sounds like I want to see Sizemore naked. I don't, to clarify, but I'm just for the principle of it.
You don't know how to feel about this.
I don't either, so I
We've
get
ridden
it.
10 miles and all we've seen is blood, Dolores.
I remember beautiful things, terrible things. But one thing is constant.
You?
You did. There's a greater world out there, one that belongs to them. And it won't be enough to win this world. We'll need to take that one from them as well.
Not sure I
Bring the whole world.
agree with that.
I don't know anything about.
I know how this story ends.
How?
With us, Teddy.
With y'all what, though? Girl, that hella vague. That hella vague.
I need you to see the truth.
They're gonna go into, like, the company?
Are you gonna help me find the host or not?
I'll need to hardline into the host mesh network. I can use one of these to send a request from another host location.
Attention. Critical corruption. Time remaining before terminal malfunction. 0.72 hours.
Okay, so how does he fix himself? She could so easily see him. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Almost.
Okay, now we're back.
Let's fan out and lock this place down. We need to find out where the hosts are and what the fuck happened.
So clearly Abernathy got out somehow, right? Because elsewise. Otherwise they wouldn't be there.
Getting first scans of the area you want to check out. The Western Valley.
There. All the hosts are clustered together.
What the hell are they up to?
Well, I guess we'll have to go see for ourselves.
I must say it could be a trap.
This isn't on the survey. It shouldn't be here.
The water.
I think we found the hosts.
underneath it? Why? Why though?
Can you tell me what happened?
Hundreds of guests still. Was that Elsie?
I killed
Hun? Hun, don't be doing that, Bernard. Okay, y'all, so wow, what an introduction to season 2. I personally really enjoyed it. I have seen that some people maybe don't enjoy the second season as much as season 1, but I don't want y'all to worry. I am going to go into it fully open-minded. You know, I am not going to let anybody else's opinion shape my opinion of it, and so far I think it's really good. I loved the sort of mystery aspect, trying to piece things together. It's, you know, it has the same sort of feel of season 1 of me not really understanding what the fuck is happening and trying to figure it out and piece it together. I don't know. I really liked it, and I'm really excited to see where my characters go in the season. Even if I might not agree with everything that they're doing or where their story is going, I'm still excited to see it unfold and how it's justified, the way that it's told. You know, that obviously is going to be very dependent upon how I feel about it. Okay, so that being said, I think obviously we should talk about Dolores. First of all, she is the quote-unquote villain of this season. That's what she realized that she had to become. That's kind of the path that Ford sort of laid out for her, and I think the path that she chose for herself, right? How do I feel about Dolores as the villain so far is like, I'm not really sure. Dolores feels a lot different this season, right, than she did last season, because last season she only really remembered being Dolores, and this season she remembers being Dolores, she remembers being Wyatt, and now she's sort of becoming her own version of who she is, because she's never really been able to choose who she was before, right? Dolores and Wyatt are both characters kind of created for her. So she's sort of picking the pieces of who she is and who she wants to be, right? It's interesting because while I understand what she's saying, and in some cases I like what she's saying, I'm finding myself disagreeing with her, right? Because I don't know, it's confusing, right? Because on the one hand, I understand where she's coming from with wanting revenge, feeling like this is the way that she has to assert that hosts are people. She's kind of doing it in a very black and white way, right? She's saying hosts good, humans evil. Hosts need to exist in this world, humans don't. And based on what she's learned and all that, it's kind of understandable that she would feel that way, but at the same time, not all humans are bad, not all hosts are good, so there's definitely this gray area that is not necessarily being acknowledged by her, at least not as of yet. And again, I can understand why. I'm just curious if she'll ever get to the point where she recognizes that there is a gray area and she's willing to acknowledge it and maybe try to work towards humans and hosts existing and coexisting together in some form. I also noticed that there was a lot of water and ocean and watery drowning sort of metaphors in this episode, ideas, which I'm going to try to keep an eye on, because I also noticed in the opening credit there is water, and I know that water is a form of purification. You know, water is, you go through water and you're clean, so I wonder if that's going to be some sort of play a part in this season. You know, water is absolving, that sort of aspect, because we saw water obviously in the opening credits. Water is surrounding the place where the hosts are at the end. There's a whole new sea. This place apparently is an island, which I don't think we knew before the park. And Bernard was talking about, or Arnold, I think it was Arnold, because it was in the very beginning. I assume it was Arnold, unclear. Was talking about having a dream about drowning and hosts being away from him, and then Bernard woke up with the water splashing against him. There's just a lot of water, so I'm not exactly sure what that means yet, but I think that it's something that I'm gonna try to keep an eye on because it could mean something. We also met a new character in this episode, Carl Strand. He's apparently from Delos. He's in charge of whatever rescue mission is happening right now. And I kind of hate him already, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that he's bad. I don't know. Kind of hate him already. Willing to change my mind when presented with new information about him if that happens in the future. But right now, I'm kind of like, this fuck every time he comes on screen. Along with Strand, we also got the return of Stubbs. Like, he's back. He's not dead. He somehow survived. And I want to know how. I'm happy that he did, but I'm also really curious as to how that happened. And yeah, I'm glad that we get to see him more. But again, curious as to how it happened. Also, at the end in the water, was that Elsie? If I'm supposed to know at this point 100% if that was Elsie, let me know. If not, don't let me know. But like, was that Elsie? Can I not see? Like, I don't know. Was it Elsie? Speaking of the water possibly being some sort of metaphor or something to keep an eye on, I noticed that we saw the wolf again, or the man in black, I think, saw the wolf, and we had seen the wolf a few times last season. I don't know if that's something we're supposed to keep an eye on, but I don't know if it's metaphor. It was with Dolores, or she kept saying it, and now the man in black's seeing it. I don't know. Also, while we're on the subject of the man in black, let's just go ahead and talk about how obviously he's excited because there's real consequences now. He also talked to Little Ford, and Little Ford said that there was a door, and now him getting out was the game now, right? Him being able to get out of Westworld Park. So I'm interested to see how that goes. A little bit fucked up, not gonna lie, but we'll let Ford play his little games from beyond the grave. That's fine. Curious as to what's gonna happen with the man in black. If he's gonna have another run-in with Dolores, like this new badass gonna fucking kill everybody Dolores, you know, we don't know, but we'll see. Well, y'all probably know, but I don't know, so we'll see. All right, so we got some more Sizemore in this episode, and usually, as y'all know, I really hate any Sizemore at all, but he was with Maeve, so that made him slightly more tolerable because I love any scene that Maeve's in. So this to me is a chance for Sizemore to redeem himself, you know. I don't like him. I've made no secret of that. He did kind of take like a step forward by offering to help Maeve, and then a step back when he was like, hey, yeah, maybe the hosts are in human clothes, you know, and almost got them to fucking kill Maeve. But, you know, I'm hoping that him seeing Maeve interact with Hector, him seeing Maeve want her daughter, him seeing just Maeve in general interact, that he's going to grow and learn and change and maybe realize what he needs to realize about the hosts and them being sentient beings. You know, we'll see. I did think it was an interesting power shift and change of dynamics when Maeve told him to change in front of her, because the people who work at the park, right, they always just kept them naked when they were working on them because they didn't see them as people, so they didn't allow them the basic dignity of being covered up, right? So I think that was a really interesting and cool kind of shift of dynamics. Like, you saw me like this, you saw me vulnerable when I didn't give you that permission. Now I'm going to do the same thing to you, and you're going to understand the indignity of that, right? I'm not saying it was right, but it was a really interesting sort of thing. And again, I hope Sizemore can learn and grow and change from this. If he does, I might consider not actively hating him. We'll see. Also, just gotta give a quick little shout out to my ship of Maeve and Hector. They are cute as fuck, and I really love them, and they just make me smile together. Excited to see more of them, and keep shipping it, I guess. Through Bernard's flashbacks, we've sort of seen a little bit more of what happened, because I don't think I mentioned this before, but it's been 2 weeks apparently since the dinner party, and through Bernard sort of remembering, we've gotten to see a little bit of what happened during that 2 weeks. He was with Cassandra. She took him to this secret underground lair that Delos has, where they are using guest DNA and experiences for some shit. We don't really know what, some shady something, right? It's really creepy that they're using guests' DNA. Like, did the guests consent to their DNA being used for unknown purposes? I kind of highly doubt it. But again, it was probably like this long-ass contract and they didn't bother to read the fine print. But, so that was creepy. And then Bernard is working with Cassandra. He was shutting down, so he, like, got the brain juice, I don't know what to call it, from the hosts. And then he put it in himself, and then he was okay. I'm kind of worried that Cassandra might be sus of him. We haven't seen her in a flash forward, so kind of not sure what's going on there, what happened with her, how that all went. She could just be not on the island anymore in the flash forward, but since they found Bernard on the water. Although the fact that they're here now, Delos, indicates that her and Bernard accomplished their goal and found Abernathy and were able to secret him out of the park, because that's what they wanted, right? She said that Delos was willing to sacrifice all of them in order to get this information. They were literally not going to send help until they had the intellectual property that Ford had, which is so fucked up. Like, if we needed more proof that Delos was super fucked up, they literally were like, yeah, just kill all these innocent people. I mean, innocent, but like, until we get stuff that could make us money. We also saw, going back to Dolores and Teddy for a second, Teddy is kind of unsure about what's going on and what they're doing, and Dolores is trying to convince him, so she's going to show him something. I'm assuming that it's the actual company where all the work goes into making the hosts and distributing them and everything like that, so we're going to have to see. But I'm also very confused because Teddy asked Dolores where it ends, and she said, it ends with you and me. Vague. That's it. Just vague. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is at the very, very end, when Bernard and them got to the place where all the hosts were, and there was just a bunch of dead hosts floating in a sea that's not supposed to exist, which is weird as fuck. Like, how does that even happen? Do they have the technology to literally create a sea? I figured they just put the park on a plot of land that already existed and, like, made a few environmental changes, but do they have the technology to actually build places and seas? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. At the very end, when they were there, I got a little off track, sorry. That guy was asking Bernard if he knew what happened, the shard guy, I think, and Bernard said, one, that it was him, that he killed them all, which, like, hun, don't fucking say that shit. Like, come on. Two, he said there were still hundreds, the shard guy said there were still hundreds of guests in the park that they were trying to save, and they don't know where they are. So, like, where the fuck are all these people? Are they gonna be able to save them? See, the thing is, I know that y'all accuse me of being bloodthirsty sometimes, but I don't think that people should die unnecessarily, right? People who've done literally nothing. So I don't want those people to die. I didn't want all of the bored people to die, you know, like maybe that guy who stabbed the host with the pitchfork or whatever, but I didn't want those people that Dolores was hanging to die. Like, it's conflicting, right? Because I want the host to be free, and I understand that sometimes violent revolution is necessary for that. I feel like until they can all come together and make an agreement that they're people and that they should just respect each other as different kind of species, then it's not going to work. But then again, I don't know what the key is to making humans see the hosts as people. I don't know how we get there from here. Even this doesn't seem to be working. They're just like, oh yeah, they're malfunctioning. Like, you know? So I don't know. I don't know how we get to that. Like, I don't know. But I want to, and that's where I want us to get in this show, right? So we're going to have to see if we get there. All right, y'all. So I think that's all that I have to say about season 2, episode 1. So far, I am really liking this season. I'm excited to see the rest of the episodes and to find out more of what's going on. And I don't know, to ask myself more sort of philosophical questions, I guess. That's it. So as always, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And until next time, bye guys.